Okay, so we have our DHCP um, server up and running, which means this one is now a DHCP assigned IP addresses. So the range is somewhere between, um, if we can go here to see the server scope, and the pool is between 20 and 29, which means 20 and 21 are not restricted or reserved. So anything from 22 to 29 should go on. So at the moment this is 22, so which means this DHCP is done. So let's continue with the DHCP services here for the Linux mission. So I'm going to do it the same way like we did it here. So I click on IPv4 new scope. I'm adding a new scope here, and I say this is DHCP Linux, or I can say Cardiff, whatever I wanted to say it. So, and then next, so the start IP address is 192.168.2.2.1 and 192.168.2 dot. Okay, let's go with let's go with 2 dot here 75 and 192.168.2.80, and then the subnet mask is 254. Any exclusion, because here we have 75 to 80 which we are not using anywhere, so I'm here skipping the exclusion and delay. I would say this for 1 day, and then you want to configure the options. Yes, I want to configure the option. The gateway here should be 192.168.1, sorry. The gateway is 2.10. Just checking if it is 2 dot I just thought I was giving 1 dot something. So 2.10 is a gateway. It's nitish.acca 192.168.1.1. I'm not worried about the WinS server. So you want to activate the scope? Yes, I have activated the scope. Right. So I have a separate scope for Linux as well, and it is authorized. Once we authorize it, it's fine. So you could see the address pool. It is 2.75 to 2.80. We might not have any leases at the moment because we haven't configured the Debian network. So now let's go into our Debian. So here I have my DHCP. Um, I have my DHCP server running here. So I've created option. So I said that you want to assign 192.168.2.75 to 80. So the problem here is when this client wants to ask for a DHCP, it can go in here to ask, because it is not broadcasted. It is going to send inside the LAN to ask, is there anyone who is here to give me a DHCP IP address? Is there a DHCP server? And because this is not DHCP server, this can't reply back, right? Uh, so there must be a unicast message which is sent from this guy to this server to ask for IP address, or to ask the details about, hey, I have someone who's asking for a DHCP server. Can you give me any numbers, any IP address you want? So what we are doing is, this is our DHCP server, but we will be relaying it here. We will configure a relay here. Okay, a DHCP relay here in this server. Let's do that. Let's go to our Debian, and then Debian server, and then let's try to configure the relay. So always it is better for you to sudo apt date. No, password is wrong. right? It is up to date. So now there are different utilities which you can use here. That's a advantage of using a Linux service rather than when you're doing Microsoft, when you're having a Windows Server 2022. You have to use the server packages, the server roles and features, the tools which are available by the from the server. But here you can use multiple options, multiple utilities, multiple packages as well. So I'm using one, and if you have something else different, yes, you can use it. um, you can use um, I'm just thinking of something else which we can use uh, as well, like DNS mask. It's another utility which you can use as well, right? But here I'm just going to do a relay. So I'm just going to use oh, it's not system control, sudo apt install IC DHCP relay, and then just install it. So this is another utility which will help this server to act as a DHCP relay, right? So sudo, if I just go to default IC relay, right? So here is it. So you have what server should the DHCP relay forward the request to? Like here you see that I get a DHCP. Okay, let's say that I get a DHCP request from this guy. Okay, no, I'm just looking for some better. I get a DHCP request from this guy. So I want to know which server should I send it back. So I have to send it back to this server. So this is my DHCP server, and this will give me back everything. So that's what here it says. 192.168.1.1 is my server where I want to forward the request to, and on what interface should the DHCP relay serve DHCP request. So from here, where if it is going to give something, so how where are you going to get that from? So which interface should I send it? So I have to send it through this interface. So what is that interface? That interface is ENS34. And then if you want to add any options, further options to it, you can add it. So yeah, so that's pretty much done. uh, and then what you can do is sudo systemctl restart ISC DHCP relay and sudo system ctl enable ISC DHCP relay. So it is pretty much um, done. So we have configured both the servers, one as a DHCP server and the Debian as a DHCP relay here. So the next one, we have to go to the client. Right. So let's go to the client here. Okay. Right. So in the client, okay, let's go and say sudo nano etc network and interfaces. It's always best practice to go to the interfaces and write it. So I have already given a static IP address, so I will block all the static IP addresses here and go back to my DHCP. I say that get it from DHCP. Control X, save it. Yes. So always it's good for you to restart the networking. And then let's go here to check if we have any leases. Not yet. So add to talk. It's still restarting, so it will take a while. We can actually see this sudo DHCP client ENS34. That's the interface. So you could see here that DHCP request for 192.168, the DORA process is running on here. 192.168 2.76 via port 67, and there is an acknowledgement which you have got, which is 192.168 0.276, and this is from 192.168 2.10, which is the relay server, our Debian server, right? So this is the DORA process which is happening, which we discussed during um, our lecture on this. So now it should have it, and see here you could see that the address is leased, and it is leased to D client, which is Debian client nitish.acca. So we have our Debian client added to a DHCP server as well. Sometimes you might need to reboot as well. So yes, DHCP is assigned. So you go to IP address, you could see that it is 192.168.2.76. So why is it 2.75? Possibly it's the old one, so you reboot it, it should go on. So this is the IP address which we have it here in the list, which means we have the IP addresses assigned, which brings us here at this point where we have configured the DHCP services as well. So pretty much everything is done here. So almost we have completed everything. The only video recording which um, you have to get it is the domain, child domain here. So I have done that. Only after doing that I can do my DHCP, right? But I unfortunately I didn't record it for some reasons. So what I will do is I will reset the mission, go back and start doing it and record it for you so that the video is available. Which means this will also be done, so you can able to join it similar to what I did for my Debian server. You can use it to join the client as well, which means this two tasks you have to do it on your own. If you have any questions, any doubts, you can come back to me and ask anytime as well. uh, that's it. I think we have completed everything. uh, so if I quickly go to your coursework 2 and brief you what we have done here. um, yeah, routing and remote access service, there is a video available for you. Site to site VPN to Cardiff network with persistent. Yes, we have two options for you here. One, you can use PPTPD, or you can use WireGuard for that as well. Yeah, there is a video for this. We have completed this. We have completed DNS as well. So creating user accounts, I have done it. So you will be doing this part on your own, with this conditions that you need to apply on for. So this again, mounting disk is a simple task which you will be doing it of your own. We have completed this part and we have assigned DHCPs to the client as well. So in section 1 we have almost completed everything, just user accounts which you want to do with PowerShell scripts, which I have talked about the PowerShell scripts. So this is done pretty much. And then in Cardiff network, I will just go through the videos. The time is on.